I have a very beautiful flower here. Love the color, of course, the shape of this bell flower called campanula. Before doing painting, I want to do color study page in my watercolor mixing notebook. I want to fill this color study page to understand which watercolor mixes to use, which pigments to use, and how to place the composition, because I will be adding something that I don't have in my reference photo, a violet bow. So I want to test that as well. And I want to show you how I make color study pages before bigger projects, maybe a little bit more complex compositions, to test watercolors, to test composition, so you don't have frustrations during the actual painting process. Let's go. These are flowers that I took reference from, and I have more. It's always important for these color study pages that you have actual subject with you so you can test your watercolor mixes. For this, I will also need watercolors. I will need ink marker, brushes, pencil, eraser, 2 water cups, one for mixing, one for applying clean layers, and a palette. First, I transferred some parts of the reference that I took a photo of these flowers. Now I'm transferring it to my mixing notebook, not the whole composition, because for now I just want to test watercolor mixes and see which ones would be the best ones. So no need to transfer the whole composition if it's more complex. You can even transfer only part of the composition, and I will show you. So here, for example, I have a painting of orchid, and I transferred only parts, not even the whole flower, petal, parts of the leaves, and I took notes, lots of watercolor mixes. And after this color study page, I will show you the result. From this loose, very simple color study page, this is the orchid I painted after doing this color study page. I was more sure of which pigments to use, which watercolor mixes to take, and this is the result. After reference is done, outline of the reference is done, palette, watercolors, then I look at the subject that I have picked, and first I ask myself which colors I see there. First, of course, violet, but how we get the violet? Violet is mixed using pink. I'm taking permanent rose, mixed together with blue, and I'm taking ultramarine blue. So these 2 pigments will be the starting point for my first watercolor mix. I'm taking pink and I'm taking touch of blue. I always add little touches so I can see the change, and I see that this is too pink, I need a little bit more blue. Adding little touch of blue to see the change, what happens. Then best way to see watercolor mix is to paint out on the paper and have a subject right beside the watercolor mix. Nice, very close. As I'm looking now much closer, in some places I even see that there will be a blue color more visible. So first mix, I'm painting out here and writing down pigment names. First, I'm writing here, this is permanent rose and ultramarine blue. Here, permanent rose plus ultramarine blue, and we have this watercolor mix. I want to see another one. Too good to be too straight away. So I'm taking pink. Oh, let's try with the different pigments. I will clean this pink away. I will take alizarin crimson. Alizarin crimson. A little bit more. And ultramarine blue. to see what I get from these pigments. And yes, mixing right beside. No, it's too natural and a little bit dull. These are more brighter. Spring flowers are way much brighter, so definitely not alizarin crimson, ultramarine blue. And always experiment like that, because you never know, and by experimenting, comparing, you will see what actually works. You will never guess it. It's hard if somebody just tells you do that, and then you kind of dependent of that other person's opinion. But when you experiment, and so what I will do, I will write here that this was a mix of alizarin crimson and ultramarine blue. Not a good mix for this flower. So you write these little explorations, observations of your own. For the green. Green part is very fresh green color tone. And for that I'm taking, definitely will be using lemon yellow, sap green, and ultramarine blue I already painted out. So I'm taking lemon yellow, adding sap green. And to make it more natural, I will add a touch of main mix. Instead of red, I usually add red, but we can add a touch of our main mix to get it more natural green. Painting out. Writing here the pigment, lemon yellow and sap green. So here we have lemon yellow plus sap green and main mix. Little touch. Now, as I'm looking at the flower more and more, I start to notice that there is even a little bit more of pink in some cases. Let's try with a touch of indigo and see how it will go. No, indigo is also making it a little bit too dull. Again, removing, not working, experimenting. Maybe I will paint one flower to test my watercolor mix if it's good enough. I will mix a little bit more to have it. And a little bit more of blue. Test again. Perfect. Very vibrant, very clean and beautiful. I will start with this one, adding water. These color study pages, remember, are not for perfect result, just to test. Too much water. So I'm removing some amount of water. In the shadow area. And lighter. Just approach. Nothing too serious. I want to have separately ultramarine blue. Just in case I need to add it. For example, very lightly, ultramarine blue can be added to the light area. Yes, that will be perfect in real painting. Here I'm just giving idea of how it could look. Darker back detail, and I'm writing it down. So first I will write the name of the flower, Campanula, clean, ultramarine blue for light area. This is main mix, permanent rose plus ultramarine blue. And I will name this as main mix. Now we can add greens just to see how it all looks together. Here I will have stamens coming out, little sepals, very light. And the bow part I also plan to have in the same color. Removing some excess of graphite with elastic eraser. And we'll test a little bit on the bow as well. Always leave completely unpainted area when you are painting bow, because bows are mostly shiny, glossy surface. They have glossy surface. And then there's darker area on the inner part. Yes, very loose sketch. I'm testing my colors. I'm testing the whole composition because I will have a live workshop and I need to know in advance how much time this composition could take, because the live workshop, it can't be for hours. Up to 2 hours is a max and people can get tired. So I need to plan my live sessions in advance, and doing these color study pages is a perfect way how I can slightly get the idea of the work I will be showing to people, and we will be painting together. Like this. So little details are helping me a lot to establish. Now I want to test how this mix will look in the shadow area. So here under, I have way much darker color. Applying loose, transparent layer. Maybe for the shadow area, I will mix different colors. So I'm taking permanent rose and same ultramarine blue. A little bit more of permanent rose, a little bit more of blue. And I will add, I'm not sure, maybe a touch of pearl and maroon. Just a smaller touch to see how it will work. Smoothing applied layer. And yes, I like it for the shadow very much. So now I have a new pigment to paint out. And painting out watercolor mix, writing down. So I have permanent rose, ultramarine blue, and pearl and violet. Small amount. And this is my approach of how I'm making color study pages before actual painting. And so here we have color study page of this beautiful flower. So let me know in the comments, did you find these color study pages helpful? Have you ever done them? And thank you for watching this video. See you in my next ones. Bye!